Man, I woke up this morning and I opened up my app for TikTok, and it's my most popular video. Now, you might be wondering, what was your most popular video before? I did a video of Tony Hinchcliffe, the stand-up comedian who I absolutely adore. The guy's a genius. When he was doing his stand-up comedy during Donald Trump's rally, when he was running for president, you know, the guy that made the Puerto Rico joke? I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was really well crafted. But anywho, that had like over 400,000 views. I made a video yesterday, like late yesterday, probably 6, 7 o'clock last night. And the thing already has over like 450,000 views. I mean, it's incredible the appetite that people have for the BaldBrad content. And I bring that up because it's amazing how I can upload the exact same video. Because actually YouTube gives you an option to just download the video you made on YouTube. And you upload it to YouTube, 100 views, 200 views. Now, hey, any view's great, but what I'm saying is, how does that make sense where your analytics are so vastly different than my analytics on TikTok? It's insane. I mean, clearly there's an appetite for my content, right? How many times this week have we gone viral on TikTok? Every day, by the way. Legitimately every single day. Folks, I only have, well, now it's grown quite substantially. I was only having like 8,000 followers, 10,000 followers. I'm hitting over 100,000 views a video. Do you know how insane that is, by the way? That's considered in YouTube standards going viral every single video. Can you imagine if I had 1 million followers, how many views my videos would be? It's crazy. I just can't. I'm trying to fathom. I'm stuttering because I'm trying to process it. It's all wild. It's all crazy. YouTube does censor material big time. Damn right. Well, it's good to see you guys. It is Huntsville, Alabama. Good to see you, Paul. Paul, you've been in here for a while. You don't got to tell us where you're from. We know where you're from, Paul, but maybe that's your intro. Wouldn't it be cool if we all had intro music? Let's go down, Jerry. Jerry, you still drinking the 1775 coffee over there, brother? Still drinking that stuff? You still on the crack, huh? Alrighty. Well, if you're new here, welcome. We go over a bunch of different news that you need to know about going into the weekend, going into maybe your next podcast, so you're at least familiar with what they're talking about. Or heck, maybe you're just at work trying to, get through the day, and I'm just talking in your ear. Well, I appreciate you joining or choosing at least my content to get at least some of your news. I appreciate that. Now, Friday's a little bit more loosey-goosey because we spend more time in the chat. It's going into the weekend. The news cycle's pretty much done with, but it doesn't stop us from still treating the show as the same. We still go over a bunch of stuff. Good to see you, Eunice. Eunice, are you new here? I have not seen that name appear in the chat. If you aren't new, I apologize, but let's give a shout out to Eunice. Good to see you. Thank you for joining the BaldBrad Show. We're going to jump right into the news after I'm done wetting my whistle. Here we go. All righty. Make sure I don't delete anything, do anything stupid. It is morning. All right. Well, the big news yesterday, which I'm sure all of you had to have heard of by now, is Elon Musk and Donald Trump. There was a rift over the EV policy and political gratitude, and it popped off yesterday. This was wall-to-wall coverage. Everybody was talking about on TikTok, X, YouTube, Rumble. We talked about it during Dark MAGA for about 30 minutes yesterday. Well, Elon Musk has publicly criticized a tax bill under the Trump administration, particularly focusing on the removal of electric vehicle mandates. Now, what is weird about this, and maybe I'm in like what's it called, the Mandela effect. I could have swore Donald Trump said this straight to the guy's face a while ago. And we played, I swear, I thought we played a video of it too. This to me was not news, but for some reason, Elon is losing his stuff. Maybe he thought Trump was bluffing or something. I'm not really sure. But Musk claims he was not shown the bill before it was passed and suggests his support was crucial for Trump's electoral success in 2024. I don't know if that's sure. I mean, it definitely played in part to helping him, I'm sure, in some way, shape, or form with people. Like, I think that would be insane to say. But was it crucial for his success? I'm not so sure. Maybe. I haven't seen the data on it. I'm open to obviously changing my viewpoint on it. Trump, in turn, has expressed disappointment in Musk, indicating a shift in their relationship. This conflict highlights broader policy disagreements, especially regarding EV tax credits. Well, mind you, it's actually not just the EV tax credits or the tax bill itself. It's actually the big, beautiful bill altogether because it does increase our debt. And that's something I don't like as a fiscal conservative, but I said I'm okay to take that hit right now because I already knew Donald Trump was going to do this. I knew what was going to happen before I ever voted for the guy for a third time, by the way. So this doesn't surprise me. Well, Elon then comes out, and I'm sure you could already see the tweet on your screen, but we'll get there in just one moment. Elon then comes out and then predicts a recession from Trump's tariffs amid political feud. So then he comes out, he's crashing out on X, or also known as Twitter. Elon Musk has publicly stated that the tariffs implemented by President Donald Trump will lead to an economic recession in the latter half of 2025. So Elon gets pissed. He takes to Twitter yesterday, and the dude crashes out. Bro is popping off on Twitter. He's getting like 100 million views on these posts that he's throwing out there. Trump will lead to an economic recession in the latter half of 2025. And I said how we've kind of said that is possible. This isn't any news to us here on the BaldBrads Show, hopefully not. I mean, you might have disagreed with me, and I could very well be wrong, but I was utilizing the idea of the inverted yield curve. And I said the inverted yield curve has predicted almost every single recession ever, other than two. Okay. Now, with that in mind, I said this was right when Trump took office and was doing everything he was doing. And I said, I think there's an argument to be had that even Joe Biden himself knew that we were heading into a recession. And I understand the Biden administration did change the definition of what a recession was during all that time, and that we technically did dip our toe in it. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking is I think Joe knew, air quotes for an audio. Joe doesn't know shit, but you understand what I mean. It's Joe. He knows when a girl's around, that's for sure. A little girl. What is that? That's a cherry, isn't it? That's cherry. Cherry 2.0, that's the upgraded version. She's about 50 meters out south. I can't see her because there's a gorilla standing right in front of her, but I know that when I smell it. I know what that is. It's about 12 years, 16 months, 15 days, and 8 hours, but I might be wrong on the 8. It might be 8.5 hours. Jesus. Stop. It's too early. It's too early. Oh, shoot. I think Joe. I'm so sorry. Give me a moment. Give me a moment, okay? Oh my God. Brad, where do you come up with this stuff, you psycho? All righty. Creepy but funny, yes. All right. 50 yards out south. Don't you guys? I just cracked myself up. You're real. Well, if you want to come and have fun, hang out with Brad, I guess, because Brad's hanging out with himself. So the yield curve, I think Joe Biden knew that that was going to happen, or at least his administration. And so that was, I think, one of the necessary ingredients was to implement these stimulus checks that would hopefully offset the yield curve. And there was other metrics that would go into that kind of that recipe to reinvert it. And I think this is also something Donald Trump was aware of, which is why I think he was doing certain things to with the economy at the end of the day. So we don't need to rehash that. We already actually did. But I want to emphasize the fact that we could have been going in the recession. And by the way, there's clips of me saying this like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. It's nothing new. That even if no matter who was president, here's the exact quote. No matter who's president, we could go into the recession. That's what I was saying previously, year ago, year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and you can find it. Various news outlets and social media posts have highlighted Musk's prediction, emphasizing both the economic implications and the personal political dynamics at play. Now, then the dude crashes out harder. And this is where things really went viral. The feud was already starting. People started seeing smoke off in the distance with these tweets that I just got done showing you. And then people go, oh, this thing's about to ignite. Yep, this thing's about to pop off. And then a huge thing of gasoline just whoosh. And the whole thing just popped off. Elon Musk escalates his falling out with President Donald Trump with what he characterized as a really big bomb on Thursday. And it was, stating that Trump is in the Epstein files, and has been fighting against their release. Musk's stunning comment was made in an X post amid what has quickly become the ugly fallout after the tech billionaire started to criticize the One Big Beautiful Bill, which Trump supports. Musk says the administration has not released files linked to notorious sex offender Jeffrey Epstein because the commander-in-chief himself is mentioned in the documents. Now, here's the thing. I don't know what he means by the Epstein files. Now, allegedly, Dan Bongino has gone through the entire file himself. I see why this is a bombshell because a lot of people don't like Trump. But it has 180 million views on this tweet. 180.2 million views. That's half the country. Now, if Elon knew this, why did he not say anything? And why was he willing to work for somebody that's allegedly a pedo? You know what I mean? Why would you work for somebody like that if you knew that was the case? You're willing to stand in the Oval Office next to him. You stayed in the White House. You stayed at Mar-a-Lago. You hung out with him all the time. You took planes with him. You did everything with him for like the last 6 months. They were like sewn together at the hip. So it's a little odd that all of a sudden, well, he's in the Epstein files. And then why were you if that's the case too, if he's going after, he's allegedly, this would be going after underage women. I don't know if the Epstein whole thing was dealing with underage boys. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But maybe somebody will in the chat. But why would you let your son hang out with him then? You know what I mean? Like if you know he's going after kids at a long time ago, I guess, with Jeffrey Epstein, if that is true. I don't think it is, but why would you let your kid run around with him, right? Remember that scene where him and X were going to Marine One together, and X looked like Joe Biden on the beaches of Delaware. Like, no, yeah, this is fun. I'm freaking out, X. Right? My daddy's rich. Why would you put your son around somebody like that? That was like the red flag for me. Like, I don't know. Now, here's the thing. Trump is in the Epstein files. He is. 100%. 100%. He is in the files. We know he's on the flight logs. The flight logs would be in the file. So just because your name appears in it doesn't mean you did, anything nefarious. Now, he could have reached out to his lawyers and been like, hey, what is me towing the line of defamation without actually getting defamation? And I'll give you an example of somebody that's towed the line before and never got hit with defamation. People talk to lawyers all the time to craft things in such a way to have people read between the lines that Donald Trump here's a pedo, but not in fact mean that he's a pedo. So that's why you got to try to source out what do people actually mean. You can't take their words literally all the time. That's the mistake that the left does. I don't take people's words literally all the time. I try to and also decipher what they maybe mean as another example of what they said. So there was an issue with a joke way back. God, it had to be the early 2000s, maybe the 90s. And it was a joke about Tom Cruise. And they were trying to craft the joke about Tom Cruise being gay. That was the theory, and there might be some theory behind that still. Maybe he's bi, or I don't know. I know he was with a bunch of women. He has kids with a bunch of women. So did Michael Jackson, allegedly, but that's another conversation to be had right now. But he was trying to craft the joke, and the lawyers are saying he's not gay. You can't say that he's gay. He hasn't said that yet. Like, you could be hit with a massive lawsuit. And he goes, well, how can I say it? And so he said, well, it was a joke along the lines of like, well, Tom Cruise still hasn't come out of the closet. So you didn't say he was gay. And the joke was crafted in such a way that Tom Cruise would be in a closet, but everybody understood what you meant. That's kind of like what's happening here. Well, he is in the Epstein files, but he never touched any little girls. He was never actually on the island doing some foo-foo, fa-fa, fi-shi-shi-go, boo-doo-doo stuff. So this popped off yesterday, obviously. I mean, everybody was talking about it. So the whole thing's a crash out. And I took to TikTok. So this another video went viral yesterday. And I said, hey, you know, is it possible that this whole thing is staged? It was just a theory. And people come at you for like, how could you even put this on the internet? Because that's what we do, is we make content and we raise things up in the ether and go, what do you think about this? Is it possible? And they act like it's fact. One thing you'll learn about doing this is people are really stupid. Like, you will see people are dumber than a rock. And I'm talking people that have 100,000 followers, 200,000 followers. They take everything you say so literally. And it's like, even if you said, hey, don't take what I'm about to say literally, they will still take it literally. Oh, how could you? So I posted this video and I said, is it possible that it's staged? That, you know, Elon Musk was in such a hole with everybody pretty much. Even honestly, I mean, even the Trump's MAGA supporters don't tend to buy electric vehicles. We're like, we want trucks. I like a F-150, right? I like an F-150 King Ranch. That's a badass truck. If you want to start a GoFundMe for me, I'd love one. I'm teasing. I would love one, but I don't want to GoFundMe. We're not going to buy electric vehicles. Look, electric vehicle just seems, I don't know if it's a social stigma. I don't know what it is. It just seems very woman-esque. Do I look like some of you are going to say, yeah, so maybe I should be careful here. Do I look like the type of guy that'd be driving an electric vehicle? Boxed in, like, hey boys, you want to hear my engine rev? You wouldn't even get that out of an electric vehicle. Like, hey. I said, is it possible that the whole thing's staged? Because if he's in the hole with everybody, maybe Donald Trump loves the guy so much. This is just a theory, as outlandish as it could be. It's just something I threw out there that was fun. That, hey, you know, maybe Elon and him go, hey, we're going to get in a toughie. We're going to get in a feud. You'll get good graces with everybody else because everybody else hates me. And I could take the hit. I already have. I've been shot in the head. I mean, what else are they going to do? And, you know, I'll take the hit and we'll fabricate this whole thing and you'll be able to get SpaceX going. You'll be able to get Tesla back on good graces, hopefully. And maybe they'll leave you alone and stop targeting you and your family, and they'll just continue to target me. Now, is it a crazy idea? Of course it is. But it's just fun to think about that they could be playing 4D chess. People are saying 5D on social media. I don't know. It's just fun. Everybody's so tightly wound. Fucking loose up a little bit. You know what I mean? Have fun. It's politics. If you don't have fun with politics, it's just going to be just drama and ickiness and evil. And it will tear you apart. It will tear you apart. You got to have fun. Yeah, see, look. Jerry said, I actually thought the same thing, which is exactly why the video popped off. Everybody, I should say a lot of people in the chats were going, bro, you just pulled that out of my head. I was just thinking the same thing. Of course you were. Why would you not think about stuff like that? Right? Like this came out of nowhere. Folks, he was just in the Oval Office on we covered it on Monday, getting the golden key to the White House. He had a black eye, remember? And he goes, oh yeah, people are asking, what happened to your eye? He's like, oh, this thing? You know, like as if like a spouse just gets abused. Oh, this old thing? Huh, I fell on a doorknob. Yeah, my head kept getting crushed in the drawer. Oh, this old thing? Yeah. So he said his son smacked him in the face. Like with what? It'd have to be with a blunt object because his fist ain't gonna do it. Maybe Elon just bruises easily. I don't know. So anyways, you have in 2008, and after Epstein was accused of sexually abusing minors in Florida, he reached a deal with federal prosecutors. He pleaded guilty to state-level prostitution charges, registered as a sex offender, and served roughly 13 months in jail and a work release program. Last fall, the conversation with podcaster Lex Fridman, Trump insisted that he would have no problem with releasing documents. Now, here's the other kicker, why I don't think he did anything nefarious. Joe Biden had the list. The former FBI director, according to Kash Patel, actually had the black book, the black documents, like the thing you open up that has everybody's name in it. If he was on the list, you don't think after all these prosecutions and all these court hearings and all these hoaxes that they came up with about Donald Trump, you're telling me they wouldn't release that? And I'm not saying the whole thing. You're even the snapshot of like Trump's just Donald J. Trump with Jane Doe in Unit 2, Cabin 5 of Epstein's Island. You're telling me they wouldn't release that? I think so. That would be like gold to them. Joe would crap his pants even if he didn't have anything to crap out in excitement. Joe would have been, get rid of all the young girls in the room. I want to smell this document. Yes, it's authentic. I know Epstein's cologne. I know that island like the back of my hand. Like, Mr. President, what do you mean? Don't worry about it. Just good memories. God, I love my Joe impression. I don't care if you guys find it creepy, because it totally is. It's Joe Biden. Everything the guy does is creepy. The guy peels his sunspots off and eats them. It's like, it doesn't matter to me. It's hilarious. The guy's a freak show. Where was I? God, my eyes are teary. If it means anything, I would probably be doing all of this if I was reading this on my own. As weird as that sounds, I mean, I wouldn't be doing it out loud, but it'd be crossing my mind. Where was I? Epstein died. Well, we're all aware of that. Dan Bongino said that he did off himself. But so that's what's going on right now. And some people, here's the other theory that's going out on the internet right now. Again, it doesn't mean I believe any of this stuff. I'm just relaying to you what's out there. And what I'm finding is just because I relay what's out there, it's automatically my thoughts. People are saying that this all could have been plotted to get us to have the Epstein files themselves. This whole thing was fabricated so that we do, in fact, get the Epstein information, Epstein list. Now, is that true? I don't think it is, but that's what's being said out there. And the reason why I don't think it's true, and other people were bringing this to light as well, is if Donald Trump is truly your buddy, like he's your bro, right? And they clearly seem like they were having a bromance, a good time. Why would you call your best friend a pedo? Like, that's one of the worst things you can call somebody, other than like being racist. I mean, I would say that's almost, people are going to come at me. I don't know which one's worse, to be honest. Racism is evil, and so is being a pedo. I don't know. I guess you have to pick one at the time of day. It's like one of those, like, who would you rather? It's like, who would you rather? Maxine Waters or Nancy Pelosi? And you're like, fuck, like, neither's the answer, but that's not an option. Which person's face isn't gonna fall off? Oh boy. So they crashed out yesterday, big time. Oh, big time. And Trump responded. He says, look, Musk just went crazy. Threatens governmental subsidies and contracts. So Trump comes out and finally gets a few words in. President Donald Trump continued his tirade against his former senior advisor, Elon Musk, on Thursday, posted on social media that Musk just went crazy and threatening to strip government contracts with his companies. And I think this does more damage to Elon than it does to Trump. The only thing that's going to destroy Trump, and I think all of you would agree with this, if he was on that list and there was verifiable proof that he actually was with underage women, it's GG. Here is my fear. And I've talked about this fear in the past, and this is where we're heading, by the way. He did put himself in a hole by stating that he is in the Epstein files. Dan Bongino and Kash Patel have obviously seen that file. There's nothing stopping Elon Musk or somebody fabricating documents utilizing artificial intelligence in the next 2 years that makes it look like Donald Trump was on that island. And I'm talking in 3 years, as accurate as AI is, you'll be able to fabricate a photo that is uncanny, and it would look like Donald Trump at a young age with Jeffrey Epstein on his island. That's always been my fear, where AI is progressing in such a way, and it's an exponential progression, by the way. My fear is people are going to start fabricating things about other people. They have the voice, they have the images, like my image, Trump's image, your images are all online in some way, shape, or form. And just fabricating stuff that isn't true. And then because people are idiots, including myself sometime, I'm in that category. I just posted a video on TikTok yesterday too that wasn't correct, so I took it down. Portion of the reason I posted it was of a bomb hitting what I alleged thought was Ukraine. That it was a way for me to source it if it was true or not, because I couldn't find where the video was coming from. So I was like, does anybody know where this is? Where this is coming from? But here nor there. So he posted on Truth Social here, as the Tesla and SpaceX owner took to his social media platform to call out the president for pushing the big, beautiful bill. Now, so obvious, a lie, so sad. Well, I don't know. You kind of did go crazy on social media, so I don't know if that crazy part is wrong. But Musk also mocked Trump and threatened also mocked Trump's threat to end the government contracts with SpaceX, writing, that just gets better and better. Go ahead, make my day. Well, as I was mentioning just a few moments ago, Musk is already in the hole with Democrats. They don't like the guy. I mean, hell, they were digging in their butt and writing, they're wiping their doo-doo on Teslas. They were protesting Tesla outside Tesla dealerships. They were lighting Teslas and Tesla dealerships on fire. Musk is no friend to the Democrat Party and the left any longer. Here's the problem. Homie is attacking Trump, and Trump's base, because some people are like super loyal to Trump, don't like him now either. That's why, and by the way, I'm curious what his stock is at right now. His stock went down $40 a share yesterday, by the way. It was that nutso. So let's see what Tesla is at right now. So Tesla is down. Tesla, oh, well, that was yesterday. Yeah. So see how they were down $47, man. Whoo. Look at that dip. That was yesterday. It looks like they're going to rebound. They are coming back up on the up. But look at that dip yesterday. Talk about a massive hit. Woo. 14%. 14% yesterday when this happened. Wow. So look at that curve. Bam. I think he'll bounce back. You know, I do think electric vehicles are growing in people's opinions. I think the technology is getting better. That's truthfully why I haven't got one, to be honest. But dude's crashing out. And so SpaceX does hold numerous contracts with federal government, including for space transportation, satellite launches, and internet services. The federal government recently signed a $13.5 billion contract with SpaceX, along with United Launch Alliance and Blue Origin. So is Donald Trump talking about yanking these contracts? If so, Elon's in trouble. People are saying that Tesla's already taken a hit, that maybe it can't rebound. That's not what I'm saying. I can't be more clear than this. I'm just relaying what I read on the internet. And I'm finding it more and more so doing this, that people go, well, that's an insane thing to say. Okay. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just telling you what the internet is saying. It's up to you to figure out if you like that or not. Now, Patriots, obviously, I'm not talking to the people in the chat or the people listening. You guys are obviously intelligent. You get all that. But there's a lot of people out there that don't get that. That if you just read a news article to somebody and it's being utilized in your voice, they're making it seem as if it's your thoughts. All my TikTok videos are just of news that I do here on the show. Literally, I'm just pulling quotes from news articles. And they're like, how could you say that? And by the way, these dweebs, these leftists online, sometimes I mess with them and I use a CNN article. Where are you getting this stuff from? This is crazy. I never told anybody that. I fucked with them yesterday and I did that. That's how evil I am. Getting in their heads. Yeah, that's a true story. Hand to God, it's a true story. I did a CNN article without them knowing. I didn't show the article. I just wrote up a script. And then I did it. Where are you getting this from? Your side? I'm glad you find it as crazy as I do because your side's crazy. And I'm glad we're in agreement. So I comment CNN. They're like, oh shit, fuck, I'm out. Oh, it's always fun. It's always fun. It's never been easier to trigger the left, I'm telling you. And that's why you got to find some, fun in all of this. I haven't been to the chat. I apologize. It's Friday. I got to spend more time with you guys. What am I doing here? If you want to go down the rabbit hole, they say the black eye is a humiliation act for, I've heard of that before. I don't think it was big enough. So if you're not aware, who said that? Pat said that. It's an act for Illuminati, several other celebrities. Yeah. So there's this idea out there. The most recent one I would have saw was Jay Leno. There's a conspiracy theory out there, and I'm not super knowledgeable on it, but there's this theory out there that and by the way, most people that have it, it's like their whole side of their face is black. Elon just had like a little mark right here. That there's, like what he said, there's basically an act where you get hit in the face. I don't know what it's for. It's a rabbit hole you can go down, but I know what he's talking about. And Jay Leno was the one that was most recently accused of all of that. I think Joe Biden's had one in the past. I want to say, don't quote me on that. I could totally be wrong. Most likely am. But you would have seen some mainstream celebrities have it. Now, I haven't gone down that rabbit hole. Too busy, but it's fascinating. You guys know me. We have spooky adventures. I'm into some good conspiracy theories. Doesn't mean I believe them. Not even so sure I believe in ghosts, but I've had my own experiences. Honestly, I could see T on that list, meaning Trump on that list. Not that I assume he did something bad, just that if you were a celebrity, you were invited. If they had anything on him, it would have already, or probably already would have came out. I think it would have already come out as well. That's the thing. I mean, look what they did to the guy. And not just to him, to his family. I mean, it's crazy to say. I mean, Trump has to be one of the cleanest guys you've ever seen in your life. Because remember, when you go through these lawsuits, and I don't know if Q's in here. I do wish Q was in here because Q's a paralegal. It's always nice to have lawyers in the chat or paralegals. And, you go through a discovery phase, and through the discovery phase, you actually come out with more stuff. And I mean, how many lawsuits has the guy been with in Democrat-ran areas? You're talking like the people that hate this guy the most, that campaign their whole life. They feel like they were born on this earth to take Trump out. Weren't able to find anything on the guy. And when they did, it was like, even like the classified document scandal, they had like fabricated, you know what I mean? So he's definitely on the list, the flight logs. Could he be somewhere else? Totally possible. Do I think he hooked up with a underage girl? No, I really don't. If I thought that, I wouldn't have voted for the guy 3 times. Now, here would be the rough thing. If the guy actually did, and I've been on here for 4 years, I voted for the guy 3 times, suckers, I love him. Well, then that's going to be a really big hit on me. But, I didn't know that he did that. So, but I don't think he did. Now, what Elon's doing is he's also floating the idea of a new political party. This is not good for both. This is just not good. I don't think it would work. But Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk polled his followers just yesterday, asking if there should be a new political party in America as he sparred with President Donald Trump. And what it found was, let's see. Let's actually see what it's currently at right now. Wow. Okay, so 80.6% of people said they would like a new political party. And to be fair, so would I. I would like a new party that's closer to actual conservatism than the Republican Party is. Republican Party used to be, right? I mean, they were never conservative because conservatism is a separate category, but they're the closest party that holds to at least the values that we hold. And they used to be really much against spending. They're not like that anymore, obviously. Republicans are just spending left and right. Remember, Donald Trump, in theory, is not a Republican. I mean, hell, neither is Elon Musk, Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, a lot of these guys that are in the White House weren't previous Republicans. And I'm not so sure they still are. They're probably more centrist than anything, kind of like an RFK or old school, like maybe a Bill Clinton type of guy. And I think Trump is like that as well. I don't think Trump is a hardcore Republican, but he's still in the position of representing the Republican Party and doing the will of the voters, which are Republican, which is what he was in office to do, which is what he is going to do. So he's floating this idea of a new political party. That would be a nice fantasy that we can get away from and have multi-parties and see who wins. Is this the birth of Musk running for president? It very well could be. It could be him, trying to put his name in the hat for 2028. I don't know. Who knows? But and the thing is, like, I think he would be a really big contender to win. I'm not against him running. But I mean, it's a huge accusation, man. That is a huge It doesn't surprise me, though. Again, because I'm trying to rationalize this. This doesn't mean I'm like agree with my own thinking here. I'm trying to process this in real time. Because again, I told you, this is reactionary commentary, you guys. I don't read these articles beforehand. I'm always sincere with you. Sometimes it almost seems like I have read it because I'll say something and then the next paragraph is talking about the very thing I said. But that's just, when you've done it long enough, it's not coincidence anymore. It's just kind of like, oh, it makes sense to, write that at some point in the article. So it just doesn't, it's such a wild accusation to make and call somebody a pedo, man. It is so wild. And the reason why I say it kind of does make sense that he would do that is because that's like a normal thing for Democrats to do. When they start crashing out, they go to the name calling. He's a racist. He's a bigot. He's a xenophobe. He's a pedo. Like, this is a normal reaction to when somebody doesn't get their way on the Democrat side of the aisle. It's a very normal reaction to start going after them. So that's why a part of me is like, I'm not really that surprised. The guy's a Democrat. And the Democrats don't hold to his values, at least the Democrat Party nowadays. But it doesn't mean that he's just going to flip on a dime in the span of a year, 2 years, and all of a sudden be somebody that doesn't carry those same attributes of name calling, which is so typical. So I don't know. Not exactly sure. Well, speaking of the Democrat Party, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, hit that like button, folks. It really does help and support us. I might as well plug some of my stuff. If you're not familiar, we do have a website called BaldBrad.com. BaldBrad.com. That's my website. I made it myself, which is why it looks amateur. But I think it looks pretty good for me that's not in web design doing it myself. We got all sorts of stuff here, all sorts of goodies. Just want to go through a few. We have a book called Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. I'll post this link in there. If you'd like to buy a copy, you just click here to buy now. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Great book. You guys, it's 5 stars. People are buying this up. If you do buy it, can you leave me a 5-star review? We're competing with other people out there. I don't have a massive publisher. This is through Liberty Hill Publishing. They're great. But all I'm saying is I need your help in trying to boost people to be able to find my book. And to do so, well, you got to leave a 5-star review. So if you bought it on Amazon, anywhere, leave it a 5-star review. It helps increase them promoting my book for me. And then again, we're not a corporation. We're not a company here. It's me doing this on my own. Most big influencers you see have a corporation behind them. You could buy merchandise if you would like. I know the prices seem expensive, but it's because, this is third party creating it for me. But I don't think the prices are that bad. I wear my own shirt. I have this shirt here, the American Patriot shirt. Ladies, by the way, we're one of the rare shows that have a ton of women that watch this show, by the way. I don't know what it is, but it's almost 50-50 on women watching our show. You guys, we have women's stuff. My wife, which shirt does she have? She looks good in it. I'm dead serious. Which one is it? It is this one, but it's just with my logo on the front. So it'll be this one. She has this one. Dude, she looks good in it. So she has this shirt herself in gray. This one. She has this one. Looks good. Looks really good. So if you're a lady, we have women's clothing. I don't know if you guys knew that. I don't know if the ladies in the chat knew we have women's clothing, but we do. And it looks good. So for everybody buying up mugs, I appreciate that. Pat has the navy blue one. Shib, I think, has the white one. My buddy Andy has the black one here. So buy that stuff up. And lastly, just want to make everybody aware of this as well. We do have a donation tab. And again, thank you for indulging me. It's just a way for me to promote myself since nobody else is going to do it. I mean, you guys do it for me. Don't get me wrong. Don't feel like I'm not aware of that. I do. I'm aware of that. But we do have a donation tab up here. You do not have to. You're not even limited to doing these amounts. Some of you even do a $2 amount. I have and I don't know if they want me to say their name. They're actually in the chat right now. I have people that do a $2 monthly reoccurring donation. So you can do one-time donation, weekly, or monthly. I have people that do a $2 monthly donation. And thank you, by the way. And I'm not saying that's a small amount. That's generous. Thank you so much for doing that. So you could do $1, right? You could, I mean, whatever you want to do, $1 per month, and it'll do it. If you want to do $1 a week, please don't feel like you have to. Again, I can't emphasize it enough. It would help. Like, it would help me out a lot. But, you know, like, you guys just donating anytime, man, it does help me out a lot. Stuff's expensive. You know, we're not exactly killing it here. You know what I mean? I'm struggling. Please help me. I'm joking, but it does help. It does help. Again, if you're having a good time, hit that like button. Are you guys, I should ask this. Are you guys against doing like the goals? You remember how I did the goals a couple times on YouTube where there's a super chat? If we reach the goal, then hoorah, we all do like raise the roof or something. Are you guys against doing something like that? Or do you think that's too pushy? Let me know in the comment section over on YouTube and Rumble, because you guys are the ones that are in here all the time. Always curious what you have to say. Mind you, a lot of people do watch this later on the recording because they're not able to make it on the live. And last announcement before we go on to our next article here. We are going to a multi-hour stream starting Monday. Monday, we can go 2 hours. We're starting at 6 a.m. still. It doesn't change. 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll go on longer than an hour for sure. We might go 2 hours. We can go 3 hours. We might go 4 hours. It's however long I can last. Now, I've been preparing myself. I'm like Tom Cruise trying to learn how to hold my breath. How long can I go in this closet? Because it gets hot. Now, I found a workaround with that. I just peek the door open a little bit and you let some airflow in here. Okay? Dude, it gets hot in this thing. I'm telling you, it gets like in the 90s. It's so hot. All righty. Well, Karine Jean-Pierre and the Democrat Party's Meltdown by Ben Shapiro. Haven't read it, excited about it, want to break it down. Things are going so well for the Democratic Party that Karine Jean-Pierre, White House press secretary under Joe Biden, someone who clearly knew that the man was no longer mentally capable, has now decided she's no longer a Democrat. She's now an independent. Oh, just flip a coin, flip on the dime. That's fine. I'm somebody else now. Typical for trans people. I know it's a little late to run away from the sinking ship, especially when you're the person who actually drilled the holes. That is correct. But Karine Jean-Pierre is now trying to just do that and make money off it, by the way. She has a brand new book coming out titled Independent, which is hilarious coming from the least independent person of all time. According to Politico, Karine Jean-Pierre's announcement that she's leaving the Democratic Party, timed with the rollout of a new book, has detonated long simmering grievances among her former White House colleagues about Jean-Pierre's pursuit of celebrity and personal media exposure while serving as then President Joe Biden's press secretary. The attention-grabbing ploy lit up Democratic and Biden alumni texting groups and reignited frustrations that burned for years about Jean-Pierre. Ooh, the drama's unraveling before us, isn't it? You know what we do here? Buckle the fuck up. It's gonna get crazy. And by the way, I believe this. Where's this part at? The wanted to be celebrity and attention grabbing. Do you want to know why I believe that? Do you guys remember when I told you that there was drama going on behind the scenes in the White House between John Kirby and Karine Jean-Pierre? And the drama was unfolding because John Kirby was getting more attention on the podium than she was. And she, got her panties in a bunch and was throwing a fit over it. And that's why I said, if you look at the time that they're on stage, it's almost 50-50, almost perfectly even every time. And I told you that she's just a power hungry person because she wanted to be the one to call out the people. And Caroline Leavitt does that a little bit as well. And I don't like that. Allow the person at the podium to control and dictate who they're taking questions from, not the White House press secretary. But she's a power hungry, attention grabbing because she got upset over this stuff. She got real upset over this stuff. First of all, we should point out that everyone knew she was incompetent for years. I called her history's worst White House press secretary. I say the same thing. I say the same thing all the time. And Democrats kept defending her. And it was wild. Like truly, truly wild. Why? Because of course she was intersectional. Basically, she was part of the LGBTQ plus alphabet mental soup community. She was a black lesbian who was also the White House press secretary, even though she was wildly incompetent. We had a DEI hire covering for a dead man in the White House. Shapiro is 100% spot on. And everyone in the Democrat Party thought this was perfectly fine until the moment it imploded on them. So he goes on and talks about that, but that's pretty much it. And it's stuff that we reiterated here. But isn't it nice that you're with a small channel that's coming to the same conclusions as the Daily Wire, a big corporation, and Ben Shapiro, who's a lot smarter than I am. If I ever had to debate the guy, not that I would, because we're in line on pretty much almost everything, get my ass kicked. And sometimes that's good for you. Robin says, oh, Brad, I love to be pushy. I'm just shaking my head. What are you shaking your head about? She can only answer a question if it comes from her 50-pound binder. That is true. You think that, you know how in Harry Potter, there's that book that's like a spider? You know what I'm talking about? I think everybody's seen Harry Potter for the most part. It's a spider. And when you go to like these conventions or you go to, you know, Harry Potter Land at Universal Studios or whatever it is, and they have the book there. You're like, whoa, that thing is crazy, man. There's the book. Now, Joe Biden's going to have a library. I think presidential libraries are kind of stupid in my opinion, but whatever. I think they're a waste of money. Now, there's two things I would love to see in that presidential library, and none of them have to do with anybody in the White House, really. I mean, they have something to do with them, but they're connected to them in some way, shape, or form. But the binder, I want a selfie with. I want a selfie with that damn binder. Now, you're going to have to build a custom podium for it because the weight of that thing is so tremendous. I want a selfie with the binder. The binder's here, right? It's on the podium. I want to be like, you know, do stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about? Be a little bit cutesy with it. Maybe a little bit flamboyant. You know? And also the other big one, and how could I be remiss by not bringing up the big one? The number one thing that I would want to go see at Joe Biden's presidential library, if you want to get a Republican to line up, they're not going to be lining up for the cardboard cutouts or the wax figures of Joe Biden and Karine Jean-Pierre and Jen Psaki. No. If you want to get Republicans at this library, Joe, Democrats, listen up. Have the binder there. Everybody wants a selfie with that. That's more popular than Karine Jean-Pierre. I want a selfie with the teleprompter. I want to take a moment in person to thank that teleprompter for kicking Joe's ass for 4 years and going undefeated. I will have, you know how people do vigils? They'll put flowers out for somebody's passing. You know, I don't want to do it for the teleprompter because it's not going on. It's not going on to another realm. But I would love to start some sort of celebration vigil for it. There's probably a term that I don't know or I'm not aware of for this thing. But I would get it a custom wrestling belt, heavyweight champion of the world. And then, you know, a nice placard that they could put up for kicking Joe's ass for 4 years. Iconic. That teleprompter overworked. Just what a true American patriot. That teleprompter is a true American patriot. If it's being auctioned off, please let me know. I would love to have that. And we'll put it somewhere. We'll find a place for it. It's deserving of it. That's for sure. You know, wait, what the fuck am I doing here? Shit. Did anybody catch that? I meant to go like that. It's hard. There we go. Like that. It's so... I was supposed to be pointing at the teleprompter. That's not here. Like a selfie. And for those that missed it, I went... Oh God, there's nothing better than having your embarrassing, stupid moments live with hundreds of people that watch this. That's okay. If you can't make fun of yourself, who can you make fun of? I'm not upset over it. I make fun of myself all the time. I'm a dweeb. That's why it's tough for people to talk shit on me, because it's like, You're probably right. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, oh my God, I have too good of a time doing this. This is just not right. Can you imagine if I made a living doing this? It's criminal, really. It's criminal. Getting paid to laugh my ass off by entertaining myself. Can you imagine? It's crazy. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? Well, maybe one day. Maybe one day. Imagine if the Bets, are you drunk? The teleprompter. Comics Dad said, if anyone could do it, it's you, man. I appreciate that, dude. By the way, your wife is pretty awesome. And that's going to sound really bad coming out live on air. But Comics Dad has his own Rumble channel along with his wife from New Jersey. And that was really fun, man. She's a hoot, dude. You guys are a hoot. You guys would be a fun couple to just grab a drink with. Welcome to Crazy. Yes, Lulu, that's actually, or Lindsay. Creepy. I have a question. Which one is more cringe, Jean-Pierre or John Kirby? Oh, Karine Jean-Pierre all day. There's no, that one's a shoo-in for me. John Kirby, I liked at the beginning because he was actually answering people's questions. And then I realized that after about a year or two, that he realized that the rabbit hole is deep and that there's so many lies that have been taking place that he's not even sure what's happening anymore. So I can't really blame that guy all too much. But, you know, Karine Jean-Pierre all day is way more cringy. I can listen to John at least. He gets some things right. At least he answers some questions sometimes. Fill up the deep end towards the end. Mouthful of food and voice to text. Sorry, we're not judging here. I'm the last one that should be judging anybody. Let's see who else. Dude, you are more than welcome to come hang out with us on stream anytime. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, dude. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for the invite. Heck yeah. Brad cracking himself up again. Yes, if you're not aware. Anywho, let's continue here. We got more stuff to cover, but you're not wrong. None of you are wrong. You never are. I always treat you with kindness and I'll pet you. All right. We got another opinion piece. How Biden's border policy turned into a child trafficking operation. Very aware that I repeat myself. We do that for many reasons. It helps you recall prior stuff I talked about. It maybe will help you recall an article that you may have read about, a clip that we showed here on the show. It also helps you recall the disastrous policies of the previous administration. And also we have a lot of new viewers here. I'm fully cognizant of, I repeat myself quite a bit. But you know, the news cycle doesn't change all that much. So it wasn't so long ago that the absolute worst thing the government could do to a child, according to pretty much every expert and everybody that has a half a brain, NGO, media mouthpiece on the planet, was to put a child in a cage. You all remember that one with AOC, and she would grab onto the fence out looking to a parking lot, an empty parking lot, and fabricating photos, but we're supposed to treat her as if she's trustworthy and not a liar. We all remember that one. How could you put them in cages? You're an animal. Under Donald Trump's first administration, y'all remember that one? And then Joe Biden comes in during COVID, and Joe Biden legitimately puts them in cages. And there was, and way worse, by the way, way worse, because not only was he separating people, remember how that was bad too? You're ripping them out of their parents' arms, you asshole. It turns out that, well, one, you would do that, but others were being sent to people that weren't their parents, and then they were getting raped by these illegal immigrants. So it's probably a good thing that, you know, you don't put them with people that are going to do harm to them. But Joe Biden was putting them in cages during COVID. Y'all remember this, that there's a certain capacity that you could put in these cages. And please understand, I'm not exaggerating this one bit. We showed the photos. That's out there somewhere on a prior episode. They were packed in there, man, like sardines. Even for me looking at it, I was kind of like, well, that's kind of fucked up. Because like it was floored, the whole floor looked like tinfoil, because they give them those, you know, those foil, I don't know if they're fire blankets, what the hell they are. They're blankets, but you know, like the foil ones, they look like metal. The whole floor. And they were packed in there, man. And the CDC said, you can't do this. And Biden's like, what do you mean I can't? I can do anything. I can fly. He could fly. He could fly. He could fly. Like he's Peter Pan or something. What the hell's wrong with you, Joe? And the Biden administration had it at 100% capacity, and it was exceeding that, actually, to be honest. It was over 100%. And they were begging the CDC, because the CDC had a 50% capacity on these pods. Not 6 distance like we all had to do, just a 50% capacity in these cages and these pods. And they were begging the CDC to increase it to 100% capacity because they didn't have enough room for all these people. That was okay, though. Oh, yeah. Remember, the most deadly disease we've ever seen in human history across the globe. Shut everything down, but we're going to stuff people in pods right next to each other. Gotcha. It floors me, man. It's wild. The consensus was that Donald Trump was so evil and unhinged that simply for his own personal amusement, he instructed immigration officials to incarcerate children in the worst conditions imaginable, like they were animals. Things got so bad, AOC... I just got done saying this. Things were so bad that AOC wept outside an empty parking lot near an immigrant detention facility. Lin-Manuel Miranda sang a lullaby for the Mexican children. I didn't even know that. Oprah, Rihanna, John Legend. Oh, Oprah. Holy Lordy, Brad, wake up. Rihanna, John Legend, George Clooney, the luminaries of our time came to get us a pretty... Who fucking wrote this? Matt Walsh, of course he did, you smartass. I'm gonna read that over again because I butchered it. What a smartass. Oprah... I love it. Oprah Winfrey, Rihanna, John Legend, George Clooney, the luminaries of our time came together to formally condemn the Trump administration. In response, conservatives made the case that children were actually being placed in cages of any kind, weren't being placed in any cages. They also pointed out that the alleged cages predated the Trump administration, and that was all true, by the way. So Democrats are complaining about the very thing that they did. Now, we don't need to rehash this because we already know it, but if you want to enjoy a Matt Walsh article, it looks like I'm not able to actually put that in there. Okay, well, I'll give you guys the title then. And you can just search for Daily Wire, how Biden's border policy turned into child trafficking. And you guys can read that on your own because I think that's a little bit of fun. And Matt Walsh is and I love smart asses. Some of you are in the chat, which I really enjoy. George would be probably the most popular example here as far as our community goes of being a smart ass. We tolerate them, but just like anybody with a disorder, we got to tolerate them as well. Now, that's going to piss a lot of leftists off. It's a joke. Calm down. If George can take it, so can you. Now, George isn't in here right now. We don't know where George is at, but maybe he's in the jungle. Now, here's the thing. Come here. Some of you didn't get that joke, and that's sad. That is very sad that some of you didn't get that joke. That was a George of the Jungle joke. Shout out. Shout out to Brendan Fraser, you badass. I love you. I'm so sorry. God. I can't believe people watch this. I can't believe it. I say this all. I can't believe people watch this. All right. Whoopi goes unhinged. Of course, every day. Says people keep telling her you can't elect a black man in America. Oh, God, I just know this is going to be good. You get when you've been doing this enough, you kind of get an inkling. You get it's hard. It's a weird feeling, but you get it. It's kind of like the tingling inside that Joe gets. You know what I mean? When something's in his vicinity, whether it's ice cream or something else, you know what I'm talking about. But I get this tingling feeling that there's just a gem in this article. Could be wrong. I could very well be wrong. Whoopi Goldberg came unglued during a Thursday broadcast, The View of ABC or on ABC, claiming even after living through all 8 years of former President Barack Obama's time in office, people keep telling her America can't elect a black man. I don't know where she comes up with this stuff. I guess from people. Goldberg made the comment while complaining about the fact that, at least in her mind, Governor Wes Moore was not getting the kind of national buzz that she thought he deserved. I had never even heard of that guy's name in my life. Now, some of you are going to be blessed by going, Brad, thank you, God, for not playing the clips. But as I mentioned, I can't play these clips because Disney, who owns ABC, will flag my entire show. I want to explain this. If I showed a 10-second clip, you know how we do an hour-long show? We've been streaming for over an hour, by the way. You get money because the ads will roll. Thank you for everybody that sits through the ads. I appreciate that. Again, it does support the show. I know you don't like them, but we got to keep the lights on here. I got stuff to pay for. I don't want to take all my money that I make that needs to go to rent and utilities and put it into all the software that I do here, but I do. You get what I mean. That's why your donations help. They will take all my revenue. If I show a 10-second clip here of Whoopi Goldberg, please understand, I'm not joking. This is like, I'm as serious as a heart attack. This is dead serious. They will flag my YouTube video and they will take all the revenue. Or they will not monetize my video at all. That's how insane Disney is. So please understand that I'm not playing it for a reason. There's no name for what I am. Far left Whoopi Goldberg claims she's not an independent and that she's so special there's no name for her political ideology. I'm the crazy person. Whoopi, you are the crazy person. Somebody has to tell you this. She's like that psycho relative that you have that comes to all the Thanksgiving dinners and Christmas party, and they're at the table and they're the only one at the table that thinks that they're normal, and everybody knows that they're not the normal one and there's something off. And usually it's a medical diagnosis that everybody knows that they're off. That's Whoopi Goldberg at the table. The problem is everybody at that table thinks that they're normal, but everybody that's actually normal that watches all of them knows that they're not normal, and they're all in with each other. What? Can I do a Whoopi Goldberg impression? No, I can't. I got to listen to her first before I try it. Her voice would mess me up. What century is Whoopi Goldberg living in? Whoopi whines that no one is talking about Maryland Governor Wes Moore seriously for president because you can't elect a black man. Still pushing this race stuff. It just shows that they don't talk to anybody on the Republican side or conservatives. Are there racists on both sides of the aisle? Of course there is. I could care less if somebody's black, Hispanic, Asian. I don't care. I really don't care. I care about what's up here in their noggin, in their head. The one thing Democrats don't care about is what's in somebody's head and noggin. Well, what's the proof of that? Joe effing Biden. Joe Biden, nothing up here. Not a clue. Gone. And even they're saying it. Even Democrats saying, yeah, Joe Biden wasn't all there. You voted for him. Gavin Newsom. I don't care if a guy's black. I don't care. As long as they're good, I'll vote for the guy. If he's holding to my values of conservatism, or even if he's part of the Republican Party and he's holding closer to my values than Democrats are, then I'll vote for the guy. I don't care. But this is the stuff they have to push. They constantly have to push race, like over and over, and it gets exhausting. It really does. Oh. She doesn't know she's crazy. And I'll show you a crazy person. I don't know how long this clip is here. But you guys know James Carville, right? James Carville claims wealthy Jewish donors will vote for a Nazi if it saves their effing tax cuts. This dude is like, and I don't mean to be rude. Did something happen to this guy? Could somebody let me know in the chat? And the reason why I was going to make a comparison, James Carville to Gary Busey. Gary Busey was he in a motorcycle accident or an auto accident? He was in some sort of accident that messed up his brain. And please, I'm not making fun of him. I love Gary Busey. Used to be hilarious, by the way. He's God, I used to watch old movies of him when he was normal. There's a famous surf movie that he's in. My parents were surfers. They met surfing. Anywho, doesn't matter. But anyways, he's coming out saying this stuff. So let's check this clip out. Okay, it's not
exposes it. Yeah, who just exposes it in a more profound way. And I hear this all the time. A lot of You go to try to raise money from like really wealthy Jewish fundraisers. And it said, look, James, I Democrat, but I can't be a part of party because of what happened at Columbia. Well, what the fuck did the Democrats have to do with what happened at Columbia, by the way? All right. But you because they have some students at Columbia who fucking, generally made an ass of themselves. Well, I can't do that, but I can be for a party that everybody endorses the alternative for Deutschland. Read the modern incarnation of National Socialism, if you will. And I just find these kind of people, I literally, my instinct is, and they tell me that, they look me right in the eye. And no, you just want your fucking tax cut. Now that doesn't apply to most people, most Jewish people see right through that. But the ones that don't see through it, they just don't really, at the end of the day, they just want their fucking tax cut. And you can see it every day.
Well, there's a guy named Bill Ackman who's the top of that list, James.
Put it right up there. And here I stand. I can do no other.
Right.
Okay. I look, I understand what he's saying. So I'm not going to rip him. I think I don't think it, I don't know. I try to get into his head. I don't know if he meant it to come out the way that he did, but I understand what he means by, when the Democrats start, having to do with what happened on Columbia University. But I mean, you guys your whole party's been in support of Hamas, and I should say whole party. A lot of people in your party have been supporting Hamas and all that stuff. So, I mean, you kind of you haven't really come out and condemned it, really. You allowed it to happen. And by the way, it's your party that basically runs these universities. It's not Republicans. You guys don't even allow us on campus. So I don't know. With that being said, folks, that is the end of today's show, baby. We did it. A little bit goofy. It's not your fault. It's my fault. And I had a freaking good time, as you can tell. A little bit maybe of too much of a good time. But that's okay, because I love hanging out with you guys. And I appreciate you guys always coming in, supporting the show. If you want, again, hit that like button. Follow us. We go live weekdays, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Starting Monday, we're doing multi-hour, man. So we'll see how long you guys can deal with me. But some of you will be excited for that. Some of you will be like, oh, shit, I don't know if I could deal with this guy for 3 hours. What the fuck? But if you're able to join us, please come over and hang out. Join the chat. Listen to me at work. We'll be going over a bunch of different news. We'll have a lot more videos for you guys, and try to make it a little bit something special for these next 8 weeks. If you're able to, head to BaldBrad.com, offer a donation if you can. I'm going to try to plug that a little bit more and help support my show. I always say, please don't feel like you have to, but because it's my hobby. It's something that I wanted to do. But thank you to everybody that's so generous with your time, your volunteers, to all the moderators, to everybody that watches, and to everybody that donates on a monthly basis. I see the emails. I see everything. So thank you so much to everybody that does that. I appreciate you. Follow me on X. Follow me on TikTok. Folks. Now, TikTok might be down in 3 days. Trump might say, get fucking rid of it. But we'll see. Brad, watch A Walk in Woods, Gary Busey and Red. I might have actually seen that. And I forgot who posted it earlier. It was Point Break. You were right. Yeah, Point Break. So it just showed you how old our community is. I guess not now. I was born in 89. I mean, I'm an 80s baby, but same movies. With that being said, take care of yourselves. I don't think we're going to raid anybody today. We'll kind of keep it tame. And have a lovely weekend if I don't see you. Check out Spooky Adventures. I'm going to try to do a video tomorrow. And maybe back here Sunday. We'll kind of see how things roll, but definitely back here Monday. Appreciate all of you. Pray for this country. Pray for Donald Trump. Pray for the world, man, because things are just off the handle. And with that being said, I'll see you next time here on the BaldBrad Show. Take care, Patriots.